evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the April 20th, 2015 meeting of the Town of Tonawanda Town Board. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask the clerk to please take the roll.
Supervisor Caruana.
Here.
Councilman Eminger.
Here.
Councilman Kringle.
Here.
Councilman Bartonese.
Here.
Councilwoman Shamira.
Here.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please stand as I give the invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. Heavenly Father, we humbly ask that you share your guidance and wisdom this evening as we conduct the business of our town of Tonawanda. We pray that our actions and decisions make this a stronger community for all of our residents. We ask your blessings on town residents who are ill or recovering from illness, those who are in need of or are grieving the loss of loved ones, so that their burdens may be lightened. Almighty Father, bless those in our community who protect our lives and property and promote the public safety and general welfare, especially those in our military services, our police officers, municipal employees, and volunteer firefighters. We ask these things through your holy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, go ahead.
Approved minutes of the town board meeting held April 6, 2015.
If no errors or omission to these minutes have been discovered, I declare them approved as typed and presented. Thank you.
Special election resolution for the purchase of a new heavy rescue firefighting vehicle from Tonawanda Fire District Number 2.
This item is received and filed. Thank you.
Expiration of a permissive referendum on April 8, 2015 as related to the resolution 2015-198 to authorize the expenditure of $151,402.67 from the Water and Sewer Equipment Capital Reserve Fund relative to the purchase of one John Deere wheel loader under New York State Contract 22063-40603 for the Water Resource Department.
And there was no communications received regarding that matter, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so noted. Thank you. Move on to our resolutions for this evening.
Resolution 294, a motion to approve and authorize one block party request as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
That's a good sign, that first block party request of the year. They're a long way.
That's right.
Resolution 295, communication from the Harry E. Crosby VFW Post 2472 requesting permission to sell poppies in the town of Tonawanda from May 21st through May 23rd, 2015 to benefit the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post Relief Fund.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 296, a motion to approve payments by First Niagara Risk Management for claims totaling $234.90 and claim expenses totaling $20,774.11.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Councilwoman Shamira, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 297, a motion to approve and authorize attendance and training seminar request as submitted by the wastewater treatment plant, Water Resource Department as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 298, motion to approve rehires, new hires, and separation of service as submitted by Eileen S. Fleming, Director of Labor Relations, as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved. Second.
Okay. I believe it was supposed to be as amended also. Okay. And once again, we have a motion by Councilman Krangle,
Yep.
seconded by Councilman Bartonese. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Mr. Supervisor?
Councilman?
I know at least one of our new hires that we just approved is here tonight, Angela Pilot. Is she here? There she is, okay. We want to welcome you to the town. She's going to be working in our controller's office as a clerk, and knowing her family history and background, I'm sure she'll do a great job. So,
Congratulations.
welcome to the
Thank you.
town.
Congratulations.
Okay, that's it.
Resolution 299, approve and authorize the supervisor to execute all documents pertaining to a grant from the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, for the purchase of bulletproof vests, and authorize grant makers Advantage to prepare said application.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, seconded by Councilman Barnese on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 300, approve and authorize the supervisor to execute all documents with New York State Department of Environmental Conservation pertaining to securing funding relative to Job 2583 Evergreen Ditch.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 301, communication received from Michael E. Kessler requesting the town board accept the proposal of Ashland Pest Control to perform bi-weekly pesticide application services at the wastewater treatment plant at a cost of $285 per application, not to exceed $3,135, and to approve and authorize the supervisor to execute any and all documents in connection therewith.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 302, a motion to approve and authorize the supervisor and the town board acting as commissioners of the Water Acquisition and Storage District to execute a lease agreement for 1275 Parker Boulevard between the town of Tonawanda and Blue Wireless Co. relative to Job 2438 Cellular Tower Projects, subject to a permissive referendum.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilwoman Shamira, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 303, a motion to approve and authorize the supervisor to sign a consent for a sublease letter between the town and Crown and Castle for facilities located at 1835 Sheridan Drive relative to Job 2438 Cellular Tower Projects.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilwoman Shamira, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 304, communication from Michael E. Kessler, Director of Water Resources, requesting that the town board authorize the purchase of a John Deere wheel loader from Five Star Equipment in the amount of $151,402.67 under New York State Contract 22063-40603.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 305, a motion to approve and authorize the supervisor to execute change order number 1 for Job 2894, Water Supply Alternatives Evaluation Study, awarded to Constoga Rovers and Associates for additional work in the amount of $14,600.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 306, a motion to approve and authorize William Swanson, Highway Superintendent, to purchase base course, binder, and top course from County Limestone, Buffalo Crushed Stone, Garnett Asphalt, and Lafarge North America under Erie County bid on an as-needed basis as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 307, communication received from Michael Kaiser, Director of Technical Support, recommending the low bid of CVF be accepted for Job 2959, concrete replacement for Water and Sewer Division in the amount of $348,175.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 308, communication from Jeff Ehlers, Director of Youth Parks and Recreation, recommending the low bid of professional turf services be accepted for bunker sand in the amount of $37.20 per delivered ton.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Krangle, excuse me, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 309, communication from Carl Heidmiller, recommending the town board call for bids returnable April 28, 2015 at 3:30 p.m. in the council chambers for 2015 lawn cutting and property cleanup proposal, job 2878, for the building department as set forth in the agenda before you.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Eminger on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you.
Resolution 310, a motion to call a hearing to be held on May 4th, 2015 at 7:30 p.m. in the council chambers of the municipal building to consider the update to the comprehensive plan.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Barnese, seconded by Councilman Krangle on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. I believe we have another two amendments that come off the floor tonight.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. We have communication from Michael Kaiser recommending that the bid of Concrete Applied Technologies Corp. be accepted for job 2943, Parker Freeze Interceptor Project Phase 4, Contract 1, General Construction, in the amount of $9,522,085.20, and that the supervisor and the town board, acting as commissioners of the Sewer Consolidated District, be authorized to execute any documents in connection therewith.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira. Anyone on the question?
Mr. Supervisor, this, just for the public's knowledge, this is the awarding of the contract for Phase 4, which we hope to, start within the next, in the near future, and it'll go for a period of 18 months, and it'll be the last phase of the Parker Freeze project, which we have all endured for the past 4 or 5 years.
Thank you. Anyone else on the question? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. And I believe we have one last one.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, one more. We have a communication from Michael Kaiser recommending that the bid of CIR Electrical Construction Corp. be accepted for job 2943, Parker Freeze Interceptor Project Phase 4, Contract 2, Electrical Construction, in the amount of $1,175,000, and that the supervisor and town board, acting as commissioners of the Sewer Consolidated District, be authorized to execute any documents in connection therewith.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Eminger, seconded by Councilwoman Shamira on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. I think that's the last one.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, does any town board member have item of information? I believe, Mr. Krangle, you do? Excuse me.
Supervisor, note for the public and the press that our outdoor driving range in Bandon Cave complex opened last Thursday. The hours are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily through the end of May, and then 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. for the balance of the season. And also, a lot of the golfers have been waiting for us to open up, and Brighton and Sheridan Golf Course will be open this Thursday on a regular basis throughout the season. Also, a note, the applications for the dedication to honoring our Vietnam veterans and residents from Tonawanda to Tonawanda are still available at the Youth Parks and Recreation Building. And the ceremony again is scheduled for Thursday, July 2nd at County Field. As of today, we have over 110 responses, so
Already, yeah.
going well.
Can people get that application online?
Good question, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we open the public portion of our agenda. If there's anyone here who wishes to bring a matter before the town board, please raise your hand to be recognized, and then please come up to the podium and the microphone. Yes, sir?
Any chance I can do a rubber stamp right away?
the beginning of the year, we were here, and I brought up the situation with the paving of Cleveland Drive. And the word was that only one half of Cleveland would be paved. I also mentioned about Waverly, which didn't really need paving, was milled and it was paved. I would like to know, at that time too, I was told wait till April and I could get an answer whether it was going to be paved or not. I'd like to know, is it going to be paved, fully paved or not?
Okay, I'll just ask Mr. Swanson, if you would, please. Highway Superintendent.
On our half, no it isn't, okay? Water sewer did some work there. Their contractor's going to do half of it. Unfortunately, another hard winter. I have a lot of new streets we have to do. They're in a lot worse shape. 2 streets over, Northwood, it's a disaster. For us to do Cleveland Drive from Delaware Road to Talbot, and Lumney, which is part of the sewer project, we're looking at $144,000. And honestly, I just don't have it to be doing that whole street, to mill and pave it. That's the best I can.
We also had a look at it, and the cost we thought maybe would go down because of petroleum, but it hasn't gone down, so it can pay the same as what he paid last year. So we didn't get any benefit from the lower gas prices.
So the oil prices didn't affect anything.
No, not at all. They just stayed status quo.
All right, so Bill, what you're saying is it's really not a priority right now because there's streets that are in worse shape that you have to get to.
Yes.
Okay, because you go through this every year, you prioritize, you review them. I know you and your staff goes over it, and you do it on a basis where worst come first.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
So once again, with the hard winter, and actually, we don't have the money. I have the other streets I have to get. Parker got added on this year, as most of you know. Parker took a beating from Sheridan Drive to Highland. That is a must. Northwood was one we weren't expecting to have to do the whole street. We basically got to do the whole street. Montrose is another one, part of Montrose up by the library.
Over the past couple of years, how many miles of roads have you done? I know we bought the milling machine. You did 20 miles last year?
We did just a little over 20 lane miles of road.
Which is double what you used to.
We've tripled, actually.
Triple, okay.
We're doing a lot more with a lot less, but we're doing it in-house. But unfortunately, I can't do every street. We have over 400 lane miles of road, 415 town roads, lane miles. Just can't do them all, so we have to get the worst ones.
And every municipality's in the same boat, I know. I mean, they're all, if you drive around Erie County, you can see all the roads that took a beating over the winter.
So we have some get the streets, some don't. Another thing this year is I don't have the community development money either. You know the situation, so that hurts us too. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, the only thing is, why would you put a contract down that's only going to pay half the street? Granted, but the contractor jammed that machine in so many times on the other side of the street that there's all kinds of patches on it, and eventually the street's going to be done anyway. And it's foolish to do it. It's going to look like, God love it, Kenmore Avenue. We got one side we paved and the other side off.
Thank you.
Thank you. There was another hand, yes, sir? And if you would, please write your name and address down and then state it for the record, please.
Hello, gentlemen and ladies. I have to put up with this the first time.
No, just your name and address for the
My
record,
name is
please.
Stanley Panfill. I live at 103 Cleveland Drive.
Okay, thank you.
And my concern and problem is when they were doing the sewer lines last year,
that when they were finishing them up and putting the sidewalks in, they were using crushed stone, not crushed stone, but crushed highway, the tar.
Okay.
And it was mixed with dirt
Okay.
when they were putting it in. They put it in about that thick, and it had rained that evening, and it wound up being that thick.
Okay.
They came in did the sidewalking with the company that was doing the sewer lines. Now, when you come up to my house now, it's terrible. It's all flaky, and this is only a year ago.
This is the sidewalk?
This is the sidewalk. They did 5 slabs.
Okay.
And we had a fella knock on my door and asked me if I wanted an estimate on doing my sidewalk in front of the house because it's so bad. Now, that was just done by the town, or not by the town, but by this
Contractor.
company. I'd like to find out if they're going to redo that because it's terrible.
Hey, was that Mike? Is that Kirk? Can you come up and
I got
address this?
a driveway that's been done in '88.
Okay. Hang on, we'll see. Got our water and sewer department here.
Was
Are you
that
aware of this situation?
Are you talking about the sewer work that was done there, not the water?
Yes.
All right, give me your address, we'll take a look.
103 Cleveland
All
Drive.
right, and we'll come out and take a look at it. We have pictures, construction pictures before and after, so we'll take a look. If there is a problem with what was done, we'll get it replaced.
Sir, it was put in 5, it was 5 new slabs of concrete?
5 slabs.
Okay.
And they're cracked. They're cracked just like they were before.
We'll take a look at them.
No,
Okay.
fine, we'll take a look.
Thank you.
What was the address again? 103.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else tonight? Yes, sir. Okay, but again, please write your name and address down and then state it for the record.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Langenfeld, 200 Cleveland Drive, talking about the same situation on Cleveland. Just a couple questions. First, we have a petition from 95% of the people on Cleveland Drive that signed it because the road is in such terrible shape. I know all the roads are in terrible shape, but the town spends all this money putting the water line in, fixing the sewer lines. Like it says, to have a contractor pave half the road, there's 26 cuts on the opposite side of the road where they were talking about where they got their machine jammed in there, and I had to dig up the opposite side of the road. Not to mention, for 2 years, there's been heavy equipment running up and down Cleveland Drive, so there's another 6 parts of the road where it's just deteriorating. There's no holes yet, but we all know it's coming. I understand that they say they don't have money to do all the roads in the town, but Northwood is bad from Talbot up towards Colvin. Not all of Northwood is bad. All of Cleveland is bad, from Talbot to Delaware, to drive down that road like that. And it seems odd to me that we spend all this money, taxpayer money, to buy a milling machine, but then we have a contract for them to come in and fix our water lines and that. We don't need them to pave it afterwards. We have the equipment to do that kind of stuff. They can patch it, we can come in and mill it, pave it, and we're probably going to do it cheaper than they can do it. So I don't understand why, for instance, Delaware Road had a water line put in on it, and the contract was for them to pave one half of the road. Why did they pave all of Delaware?
Good question. Do we have an answer for that, Mr. Highway Superintendent?
Bill, take your turn.
Good. Again, the job on Delaware was a large job. It was a very large job. And we had so much money put aside to do pavement restoration. At that time, and for that
That was
price,
a bonded job.
it was, all of our water lines are bonded. All of our jobs are bonded. So we had that much money, we had a certain amount of money put aside to do half the pavement. Because Mr. Swanson came up to us and said, look, if you give us that chunk of money, we can pave the whole job for you on Delaware, and did a great job on it. And we would have, had we stayed with the contract, it would have only been half the job. The situation in Cleveland is different. We were doing only so much restoration on Cleveland. The job wasn't as large, so the money put aside for paving was a lot smaller. So that money would not cover Mr. Swanson's cost to do that. So that's why we're paving the half street. It is typical on water restoration and water jobs. When you get into a pavement situation, it is typical to pave only a foot or two on either side of the trench.
Okay.
Here in the town, because we feel that the trench comes so close to the curb, comes within a foot and a half of the curb, it's better for us to do half the paving.
Right.
Usually on a lot of water jobs, they only do a foot on either side of the trench.
Okay.
So we are doing more than we usually do anyways by paving half the road.
Well, can I ask you this? Sure. But now, take into account that there's 26 tear-ups on the other side of the road.
Well,
all the equipment. I mean, you guys have been down there. You've seen the road. It's
I
horrible.
walked it today.
I've seen you guys.
And the thing is, if you took a look at the pre-construction photos of that roadway, it's almost identical to what it is now.
So we should have paved it a long time ago.
Well, you know,
Anyway,
you know what I'm saying.
okay, but what do we have to do to get the road paved? I mean, you're going to pave half the road, and our side of the street, the other side of the street, is just going to get torn up and worse and worse and worse. Cleveland Drive, I mean, water department-wise, we're 90% there. Pave the whole road, and then Cleveland's done.
There's not money to do that.
What about the money that goes to the contractor? Can that still go?
Now, we took a look at that, and it's not enough money for highway department to build and pave the entire road.
And there's no room anywhere in the budget anywhere else to get this done.
This is all bonded money.
Okay.
And the bond goes to the water acquisition district. So the water acquisition district funds only water line repair work.
Okay.
It doesn't fund street paving. The only way we get that half a road done is because that's where we're putting the water line. So we can't pave the entire road with water acquisition funds.
So, I guess.
That's right, it's the highways, it's highway funds.
Now, highway like I said, Northwood is horrific.
Yes,
From
it is.
Talbot to Colbert.
Actually, it's alligated the whole street. It's actually very bad.
And alligator is Cleveland. You walked
Well,
it today.
It's not as bad. And once again, for us to do it, and we only charge for materials, it's $144,000. I can't remember the money. 75. That's another 7. That's a couple streets I'm going to lose out that need to be done.
You have a list, don't you? Don't you prioritize like
Yes,
by need, what streets need to be done?
Yes.
And that's done yearly?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do have to say, the new process that you're utilizing is going to maintain the life of the road much longer than how we were doing it.
Well, we hope.
Previous.
Let's be honest. The winters, the
I know
frost
they
level's
are.
been really
The
bad.
last 2 years.
Yes.
I know.
It should. But nobody can't get that. Anything you're writing, I'm tired.
So-
We are trying our best, but unfortunately, if I do that road, I have to pull one of the other worst ones, and
They'll be here.
then they're going to be here. There's only so much money to go around, as you know, with the cost of the overtime, the cost of salt. We don't even know what this fall's going to bring. I'm very nervous about the price of salt. We might have to pull some of our funds to cover the November, December this coming year. I have no clue at this point, so I have to be very careful.
And I think we do have to stay true to the process of prioritizing. You know, I understand that there are unique situations, but we do have a process in place. You're looking at the roads on a daily basis, you're making those decisions, and I think we have to stay true to the process, because if we don't, and we keep bumping roads up, then we're going to get into worse shape.
All winter long, my foremen go out, when they're on the roads, and they're checking the streets. They come up with a list, and then four of us go over it after that. So there's a process. There's 9 of us that go over the streets, and we all decide, finalize which ones are the worst. And it seems to work. In the 4 years that I've been doing this, we've seen a great deal change, and people are very pleased with what goes on. But we can't.
It's going to take time.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
just to be clear, the amount of money that I guess the water department put into the contract for paving was 75,000. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else? Is it on the same issue, or?
Get somebody else.
We have somebody else.
Sorry, he's up.
All right, go ahead.
He's up.
Yep.
Just to give you, when we took this petition around, a lot of people were saying, what are they, nuts? They're losing their mind? Well, there's some other words too, I would say. And that is a feeling of a lot of people. Why did you come up with just paving half the street?
I think he just explained.
I know that, and I know it's money. But when you make a contract, you would think you give some thought to that, because it makes the town look.
Well,
We can only replace what was done. You heard Mr. Rowland.
I grant
You know.
it. But like I said, you did Waverly with community funds. And Cleveland, Orchard, McConkey, and Brighton were also on community funds.
We don't have that.
and I believe he just said that he
I know
don't.
it was that year,
Oh.
those streets were on there.
Okay. Thank you.
I agree.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. And if you would please write your name and address and then state it for the record.
Maria Chesky, I question on page 2. See, resolution 215-296.
296. Okay.
I'm sorry, good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry, I just didn't hear you. 296 you said, right?
215-296.
Yeah, the 215 is the year. 296 is the item, right?
Page 2, lines
Okay.
C1, resolution 215-296.
Okay, good. I'm on page 3, but you have a different agenda than I do apparently. But okay, go ahead. What's your question? What's your
I'm just
question?
wondering if you can clarify this for me because it's very confusing.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm wondering if you can clarify this for me because it's very confusing.
What's
It
that?
indicates that Niagara Risk Management, this entity that paid a claim for the town of $234.90. But in order to do this, their claim expenses were $20,774.11. It just doesn't seem right to me.
No, Mrs. Tisby, we've gone over this on numerous occasions, how this
This is a
has
new
worked.
claim from tonight.
So this
right?
is, what's that?
This is a new claim from tonight.
This is new claims. Every meeting, we have new claims. Every meeting. So these are claims that come to the town that First Niagara Risk Management, as our TPA, approves or recommends to the board that they be paid because we're self-insured. So we have to have some, so we have claims every day come into the town clerk's office, I'm sure.
I understand that. My question is, who got $20,774?
Various people.
Claimant, or was it Niagara Risk?
How many people got it?
18.
Well, it's-
18?
I'm counting 18.
Okay, 18 people.
And they're not,
So individuals receive that money?
No, the total.
No,
The total.
no.
That's the
No, it's a
total
total.
of all of them. All of them total.
As it is every meeting, we just give the total. We don't give the,
Okay, so the total is $20,000.
That is
And there
correct.
was just one claim that was paid of $234, and that was 18 people out of the 20,000? Or out of the 234?
they're not people. They're not, there's 18 claims, is that the proper way to put
You
it?
have claim expenses. you
Yeah,
have claim-
there's
claim
18 listed,
expenses.
18 listed.
So
because there's one claim, and there's one claim expense, so, the claim expenses go to various individuals, and the claim expenses are $234.90.
We're authorizing First Niagara to disperse $20,774.11
to 18 people,
to these 18 claims.
18 individuals. Okay. Then on page 2, resolution 215-298.
298.
That's
298.
298.
298.
Yes, what's your question?
My question is that new hires and separation, are any of those New York State Civil Service position?
One is.
I believe one is.
One is.
Yes, I believe there's one is, yes. The young lady,
Clerk.
the clerk to be hired tonight.
Clerk's for one civil service.
And so the number of new hires was more than one, or
Yep, it looks to be
Yes.
part-timers.
They're part-time.
Yep.
Yep.
how many individuals would you know?
1, 2, 3, 16 I'm coming up with, 17, including the clerk. So 16 part-timers.
So 16 positions in the town of Tonawanda, and only one was civil service, is that correct?
One civil service.
On this agenda, yes.
Yes.
Pardon me?
On this agenda, yes.
We have a lot of our part-time for the summer help. Summer positions.
And those are
Put
not
on.
offered for civil service. Okay, thank you. And then the last one I have is, page 3, resolution 215302.
302.
What is a permissive referendum? Is that a vote the taxpayers get to vote on, or is that just something that you guys decide on, or?
Jack,
First referendum.
can you explain how the permissive referendum works?
Certain actions have to be subject to a permissive referendum. So, for example, if you sell land, somebody else might want to challenge that, so we give them 30 days. If nobody comes in and challenges the value, then it's approved.
So it's not a vote or anything, it's just a time stamp. Okay, thank you. Page 3, resolution 215307. I'm always very interested in water and sewer division. This is concrete replacement. Where is this repair being done? Is it a certain street, a certain area?
I believe it's throughout the town.
It's $348,000.
This is Kirk?
Our water and sewer department. This is used throughout.
This concrete contract handles the north side from Sheridan, north of the town, handles any repairs we do, sidewalk approaches, any repairs that were done during the winter.
Which is probably considerable.
It's very good.
Yeah, I would imagine it's quite extensive.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Kirk.
And the last thing I have is, this hearing to be held on May 4th, 2015 at 7:30 p.m. to
Yes.
update the comprehensive plan. And then, that's that comprehensive plan?
No, it's the
No,
town
it's the town
comprehensive plan.
So this is just a private meeting with you guys? or-
No.
It's a public hearing. You're invited to be here for that.
And presentation.
It was last done in 2005?
Yes.
2005. The time before that was 1950, 55, something like that. So,
We continually update.
so this is 10 years, it's been 10 years since it's been updated.
And the comprehensive plan will entail just generally what?
Just exactly that, comprehensive plan for the town, going forward.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else wishing to address the board? Okay, seeing none, then we'll close the public portion of the agenda. We thank everybody for coming tonight. We're going to move to adjournment, and I know we have some students back there. We'll be glad to sign your papers at the end when we adjourn. We adjourn to the memory of the following, to the town board meeting to be held on Monday, May 4th, 2015. Dorothy Chapman, Jean Clayton, John Devine, Robert Giagraffa, Robert Hark, Josephine Henshenke, John May, Thomas McHugh Jr., Salvatore Morel, Harold Wagner, and Thomas B. Magnus. And with that, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming tonight. We are adjourned for this evening. Thank you.